Have you ever watched a movie and thought, did they really just give that role to a child actor? Especially when it comes to black children in Hollywood. Some roles have been so problematic that they've sparked outrage. Today, we're talking about the 10 worst, most controversial roles given to black children in Hollywood history. From offensive stereotypes to downright disrespectful casting choices, these roles should have never made it to the big screen. Let's dive in. 1. The Kid from Soul Man, 1986. Starting off at number 1, we have the film Soul Man from 1986. This movie starred Thomas Howell, a white actor who pretended to be black to receive a scholarship. The film's premise is inherently problematic, but what makes it even worse is the way black children are treated in the story. The role of the black child in the movie was basically play along with the idea of this ridiculous premise, making it a role that perpetuates harmful stereotypes. This was one of the most insensitive roles ever given to a black child. 2. The Little Rascals, 1994. Next up is The Little Rascals from 1994. While the film was a hit among kids, its treatment of black children in particular is problematic. The character of Stymie, portrayed by Brittany and Cynthia, two African-American child actors, had them play a character whose role was largely to serve as comic relief in the midst of racial stereotypes. The portrayal was not empowering, but instead infantilized black kids and boxed them into one-dimensional roles, contributing to Hollywood's issue with underrepresentation and stereotypical casting. 3. The Birth of a Nation, 1915. Now, this one is a classic, but definitely not in a good way. The Birth of a Nation, released in 1915, is notorious for its racist depictions of black people. While it's not focused on a black child actor, the film's portrayal of African-American children, as well as the entire race, was horribly demeaning. It perpetuated dangerous stereotypes about black people, especially black children, portraying them as inferior, savage, and unintelligent. The film is one of the earliest examples of how Hollywood molded harmful narratives for generations to come. 4. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1993. In The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1993, the character of Jim, a black man who accompanies Huck on his adventures, is played by a young African-American actor who, although talented, was forced into the trope of the loyal and subservient black figure. The role, intended to be a symbolic friend for Huck, lacked any meaningful complexity. Despite being a staple in American literature, the film falls short in its treatment of African-American characters, especially black children. The portrayal is yet another instance of how Hollywood struggles with fully developed black roles. 5. Annie, 1982. Who can forget Annie, the 1982 film? While it was a beloved musical, the casting choices raised eyebrows. The character of Annie, traditionally a white orphan, was played by Aileen Quinn, but the film's portrayal of black children, particularly their roles in orphanage, were limiting. The movie didn't reflect the realities of black children in an uplifting light. Black characters were often depicted as background figures who had no agency, a stark contrast to the central white character. This lack of depth in black child roles made it harder for African-American children to find empowering roles in cinema. 6. The Help, 2011. In The Help, while it received critical acclaim for portrayal of race relations, it also showcased problematic portrayals of black children. The character of Yule May, a young black girl, is forced into a life of servitude, painting a picture of how black children were subjugated in society. This depiction, although historical, left many wondering whether this was an appropriate role for a young black actor to play. While the film tried to shed light on racism, it inadvertently perpetuated harmful tropes that affect black youth even today. 7. Mandingo, 1975. Mandingo is another infamous film in which black children were portrayed as victims of systematic oppression. This film was known for its horrific depictions of slavery, but what made it even worse was how the children, particularly African-American boys, were shown as both sexualized and commodified. The portrayal of young black children was completely degrading, reducing them to mere objects of pain and suffering, with no positive roles for empowerment. 8. Song of the South, 1946. Next on our list is Disney's infamous Song of the South, 1946. Despite being known for its catchy theme song, Zip Dee Doot, The film is criticized for its racist portrayals of African Americans, especially black children. The film used the character of Uncle Remus to push a narrative that romanticized the South during slavery. The portrayal of black children in the movie is problematic, showing them as naive, subservient, and content with their social station. This was a role that perpetuated racist ideas and provided little room for the complexity of black children's lives. 9. Blackface child in various shows. Over the years, Hollywood has also cast black children in blackface roles for comedic effect, which is one of the worst abuses of black representation. These roles have been portrayed as funny or exotic, but they've dehumanized black children by turning them into props for white amusement. The casting of young black children in these roles without any real agency or character depth created a harmful stereotype that lasted for generations. 10. The Wiz, 1978. Finally, we have The Wiz, an all-black version of The Wizard of Oz that, while well-intentioned, still had problematic moments. Some roles within the film for young black actors were underdeveloped, often relegating them to secondary roles that were more about providing comic relief rather than genuine story-driven character arcs. Although the film's cultural significance cannot be overlooked, it also failed to give young black actors the depth and complexity of characters they deserved.